Alright, hello everyone. So I'll be dimensioning this part I have here, just to show you guys some tips and tricks. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, we can go ahead and make a drawing from our part. Go ahead and grab the template. And now we can start off with the front and the top and the bottom and the side. And then we want our isometric views. So here we can see, looking over on our view palette, that we have only one isometric view, and that's a view of the top part of the totem. So we also want a second isometric view of the bottom half. So let's go ahead and make that. So let's save our drawing here. And now let's go back to our part and create a second isometric view. So to do that, we have our primary isometric view, which is this, and we want our secondary isometric view to look like this. So to get that, we hit spacebar, and we can click anywhere over here. And if you don't have that, you're going to have to go up here to this toolbox and click the view selector. And then you can click that isometric view. From here, you can hit spacebar once again and bring up that orientation box again, and we can see new view. So we'll click new view. We'll name this our south isometric view. And you can see now we have a south iso view saved here. So we can go to our normal isometric view, hit spacebar, hit south isometric view, and it's as easy as that to add a new view. So we can now save and minimize that for now, and open up our drawing. So here we can go back over to the view palette, and you'll see it's now out of date since we saved the part. So we can refresh that up here, and we can immediately see we have a south isometric view located right here that we can just drag straight in. And we'll just lower that to try to line it up a little better. It doesn't have to be perfect. And there we have it. Now there's two views in there, which is what we want. So now we can go ahead and start to smart dimension everything here. So first of all, let's just get the overall height of the totem in of 2 inches. We'll get the 200 thousandths height to there, and the 450 thousandths there. We can see that we don't have this hole showing, so if we hit this parent view, and we can change the display style to show hidden lines, that'll change it for everything here. However, we don't want it here on the south end, because once we start adding features to the south end, any sort of hidden lines will start to clutter things. So we can hit that view in particular and go back to the hidden lines removed. And now everything's looking pretty good there. So now we can start adding some things. So let's add our center marks. So we already have a center mark here that SOLIDWORKS already did for this hole. However, we also want it for the overall cylinder. And then we also want some marks for the center lines on our front and side view. So when we hit center line and click here, we can see the center line actually doesn't go up all the way through, which we want it to do. So if you click that center line, you can drag those blue boxes up, and in this case I usually like making them a little shorter, something around like that. And we'll have to do the same to this side. In this case, looks like it's already set pretty good up there. We'll just adjust this a little bit. It's not taken. There we go. Here we can actually see the center line sort of cuts into that a little bit. So actually what I will do is, we can either raise it just a little bit so there's a bit of a gap there. so there's no confusion at all about what's actually going on. Alright, so there we have hidden lines, so it's going to sort of do it no matter what. Alright, now we can start adding some more dimensions. So we need the dimensions from the center of that hole to the center of the part. And we also need the dimensions for the width of these slots. And alright, so now we get Alright, so we get that dimension in as well. Now for this hole here, we can either smart dimension it like we've been doing, or we can use the hole callout, which is nice because that gets us the depth of the hole that we would otherwise have to dimension over here. So if we hit that hole callout, we can bring that out, and you can see we have now the diameter and the depth listed. One thing to note is that you should not have your arrow coming out straight to the side like this. It should always be up at an angle, and it should also never cross through a corner like it is right there. You should try to avoid that if at all possible. So we'll bring that up just like that, and we'll also dimension the overall radius, diameter of the totem. So here we can see it defaults to a radius. We want it to be a diameter, so you can hover over this, right click, go to display options, display as diameter, and you can see now we're displaying it as a diameter, just like we want it to. Alright, so from here we need a precision fit still, so let's go ahead and just make this our precision fit. So to do that, we want to make our tolerance from none to bilateral. We want to change our precision to 3 decimal places. And then since this is a slot, as we can see here, we want this to be at smallest the dimension that we drew it at, and we want to be able to allow it to be a little bit bigger if needed. So we will have a plus 5 thousandths minus 0 tolerance. And since that's a little unclear there, we'll just drag that off to the side so it's nicely dimensioned just like that. From here, just make sure you fill out your name, date, north and south mates, the drawing number, EME-50 in this case. We're in the fall of 2020 right now as recording this. AO1234, and then your box number, and then make sure to increment the revision number by 1 every time you submit a new homework. And then you can throw in a creative name for your totem. In this case, my totem is the amazing part. So you can name it whatever you want there. Alright, so that's that. I hope that helped you, and have a good day.